are on the way to the Rahu Temple next, just about 5 or 6 kilometers from the hotel we are staying in Kumbakonam. Rahu, of course, is a shadow planet. He has no real physical form. There is no planet that corresponds to Rahu. So Rahu is basically a source of influence, of celestial influence, more than being a real thing. He's actually part of the orbit of the moon, where when the moon approaches Rahu, then there are bound to be eclipses. This is called the not lunar mode, where the moon transits from the south to the north in its orbit. This temple is a temple for Rahu, and the Shiv here is known as Naganathar. The place itself is called Thirunageswaram. The word Nag itself suggests that it has something to do with snakes. That goes well with the iconography that represents Rahu himself. Everywhere is represented as a serpent without a tail, just a head. Nageshwaram is the place with a history of serpents that goes back even further than Rahu, and therefore even further than the snakes and serpents context. The three famous snakes in Hindu mythology, cosmology, Aditya, the serpent on whom Vishnu lies, then Daksha, the progenitor, as well as Karkotaka, the snake that bit Nala. These three snakes already worship Shiva over here. So Shiva, even without Rahu, here is known as Lord Naganathar, Lord of the Serpents. And Rahu, with his story, fits into this context quite smoothly. Rahu's own backstory here is interesting. It is said that when the gods and the asuras were churning the ocean to get the nectar which promised immortality, a serpent called Svarbhanu wanted to take part in that, and he disguised himself as a god and slyly took part in the churning, Svarbhanu. At some point, Chandra and Surya saw through his disguise and reported him to Lord Vishnu. So the infuriated Lord Vishnu cut his head off. That is how Rahu became the serpent head, and the tail part of it, the rest of the snake, became Ketu, who has his own temple here, and we will see that tomorrow. So Rahu, the serpent head, is what is known to us through this backstory. Rahu himself came over here to Thirunageswaram, just on the outskirts of Kumbakonam, to pray to Shiva here, the Lord of the Serpents, ask for his mercy and ask for the pain to be healed. He couldn't die because he had already consumed the nectar, both he and Ketu. Therefore, they were eternal beings now, but without each other, they were two separate halves. And therefore, Rahu asked Shiva for a cessation of pain and also to give him a planetary status. Shiva granted him both. He relieved him of the pain, and he also gave him planetary status. So as an effectively a planet, Rahu influences the various aspects of the human condition, such as obsessions, illusions, unconventional behavior. So anybody with a strong Rahu in their chart, according to Jyotish, would be somebody with immediate success in anything that they did, and somebody with a weak Rahu would be somebody full of illusions, somebody with addiction, maybe depression, and even those who wonder what these forces are that control their lives at all. That's a pretty hopeless mental situation to be in. So Rahu is in charge of that part of the human self. So basically, Rahu is associated with whatever is taboo or hidden or transgressive. Here on the road, the little lane that takes you to the temple, today the Rahu column was between 9 and 10:30 morning. Shopkeeper suggested that we buy a garland and some till and some flowers. Normally we do that partly to follow whatever is the procedure and get the hang of it, and partly these kind of places near the temple are also a good place to leave your slippers there. So it's always nice to buy something there, and they take care of your slippers the time you come back. But this time he said that the pathway is full of sharp little stones, so you're probably better off leaving the slippers closer to the temple. This is the Gopuram. It is many-tiered, very detailed, quite lovely. This is the temple tank, and Rahu must have come here to get the forgiveness and the blessings of Shiva. It's quite a nice and well-maintained tank. That is the entrance Gopuram through which we came by And that is the Amman's temple, which we have not yet been to. And this is the main shrine for both Rahu as well as Lord Nageshwar. These pillars from long ago, featuring the Yali, a mythical beast, a lion-beast hybrid that the old Pallava sculptors were fond of. A lot of pillars here with Yalis, very beautifully done. So we've been inside to see the main Shiva Lingam, Lord Nageshwara. It is a very impressive temple, but there are signs everywhere saying no video cameras allowed. There are CCTVs here which keep you under surveillance and so on. I mean, it doesn't make sense, therefore, to take the camera anywhere where they don't want it to be. We couldn't film the inside part. It's a very beautiful temple, as these ancient 1,000-year-old temples can be, especially once you get into the inner sanctum. We could see the Parvati shrine. Here, Parvati is known as Piraisoodi Amman, which means she who wears the crescent as a crown. That was a very beautiful shrine. There was a priest there just for that, making pujas. The Rahu shrine is outside in this corridor, which is out of the inner sanctum. It's the outside corridor. And there was a rush for the Rahu Puja. There, you see the Rahu idol not as the head of a serpent, as he is usually depicted everywhere, anywhere in India. Here he has a human form, a human face, a human body. And he's there with his two wives, Nagavalli and Nagakanni. So he's standing between them. These are quite tall, majestic idols. And there were many people offering pujas there. So that seems to be the highlight. The one other stunning highlight of this temple is the Abhishekam, the ceremonial washing of the idol of Rahu, somewhere in this place, and people are waiting for it. And that is supposed to happen at 11:30. We're about 5 minutes away. This has been documented by pilgrim accounts, devotees in various personal accounts, and by temple authorities and so on. Nothing scientific has yet been done, but it is amazing all the same, given the number of accounts that seem to corroborate it. And what it is this. During the Abhishekam, milk is poured on the Rahu idol, and when the milk strikes the idol and flows down, it turns blue. Nobody knows why. There is nothing in the milk, just chemically or otherwise added. It's just regular, normal milk, we are told. But when it touches the idol and flows down on the black idol, it turns blue. And when the milk leaves the idol and flows to the ground, it is white again. So it could be some chemical composition of the stone. It could be something to do with the falling of light at a certain angle, which catches the stone at a certain way. Nobody really knows, but it is quite amazing all the same. There is a huge crowd for that, and I have a feeling that we'll be joining this thing at the back of the crowds. And there is certainly no question of filming it, although I'd love to film that and show it to everybody, but no cameras are permitted there. And we will be at the back row, at a great distance from the idol being washed. So I do not know what we are going to see, but we are going to go there and find out. This is the outer prahara. We're back at the Yali's hall of pillars of the Yalis. Now we are leaving. The baby came. So we've just finished our visit to the Rahu Temple at Thirunageswaram. It is a huge Chola type temple. This was an early temple, 10th century, 900 something, built by Aditya Chola I. And therefore it has all the Chola marks of those huge pillared halls and Yalis in the pillared halls. There is the collection of all the 9 planets, grihas, in one place. There is the proper Shiva, Sri Naganathar. There is the high Vimana and the entrance Gopuram. And there is a shrine of Rahu in the outer corridor. The only regret is, of course, that we couldn't see the milk turning blue, which is supposed to be such a phenomenon here. No real scientific or whatever studies have been done as to why this is happening, but there are enough popular accounts to know that it is happening, though we don't know why. We couldn't see it because we were joining a lot of benches that were arranged for this, and we would have joined somewhere in the last bench, too far away from the idol to see anything. The other thing was, of course, that we were not allowed to shoot anywhere there. There were enough number of notices saying video cameras, even phones were prohibited. So we had to respect that. Even if we could have seen anything at all, it would have been from a distance. We could have also verified with our eyes, if possible, whether the milk, once having gone over the idol, turns white again when it touches the ground. That would have been worth seeing even for a distance. Anyhow, it's fine because, without being able to shoot that and document it in some way, it would have been just only so much to have seen it with our own eyes only and not be able to share it. So here we are on the way back to our hotel. And a word about our hotel. We are staying at Lilac, Kumbakonam. Really recommend it. They're not paying us anything to say this or whatever. I mean, they don't even know we are here. It's got a nice restaurant, vegetarian restaurant, but high quality stuff, good service. The rooms are nice and comfortable and all the rest of that. In fact, there seems to be a running at 80% capacity, although it is not particularly the season. So we'll sign off then and see you later at the next one. Bye.